an angel with superhuman strength, and another appearing suddenly in the grocery store. All of this on this week's Real Life Angel Encounters. Angels. We all have them. They're our unseen guides, our companions, our teachers, and they're all around us. Sometimes they make themselves known in the most miraculous ways. Join me, Level 3 QHHT practitioner, angel communicator, and Reiki master, Christy Clemens Hoffman, with stories from real people who have experienced uplifting phenomena and real-life angel encounters. Hello and welcome back to Real Life Angel Encounters. I am Christy, your host. And today my voice is a little shot because of allergies. I hope that doesn't bother you too much. Feeling great, but my voice is a little worn out. Anyway, first up is a story from Helen. Helen is a member of the Real Life Angel Encounters group on Facebook, where she posted her story. Helen says, I am a huge angel fan. I believe in them, and I have for years. I'm constantly talking to them, asking to help me with things like being a better person, making my relationships better, etc. So one day, I'm in my local supermarket that I am there at least 4 days a week. Oh, Helen, I hear you. I am at Cosentino's in Kansas City at least 4 days a week. Yeah. You know your grocery store, right? Okay, Helen says, I had a shirt on that had angel wings in the back. Helen says, I had a shirt on that had angel wings on the back. I was in the self-checkout aisle. This blonde woman, probably in her late 60s, who I've never seen before that worked there, approached me and was standing behind me. And my first thought was, okay, you're looking to see if I'm going to steal something. And I almost was getting annoyed because she kept standing behind me. So this woman asked me if I was into angels, and not thinking that I had the shirt on with the angel wings. I just turned around and I said, yes, wholeheartedly, I believe in angels. And I do believe that they're all around us. Well, this woman that couldn't have been any more than 4'10", like I said, maybe late 60s, turned to me, looked me straight in the eye, and said, I am an angel here on earth, and you are going through something, and I am here to help you. Oh, I've got chills. Helen says she reached into her pocket and pulled out a little baggie and handed me a little silver-colored angel wings charm and said, you keep this with you, and as long as you have this, you will be protected. Oh, I've got chills, you guys. Well, needless to say, I started crying in the middle of the grocery store because I was really going through a very hard time. And she just walked away. And to this day, I have never seen her in the store again, nor have I seen her anywhere in the area or the town. With that said, the issues that I was having have subsided and things are getting or have resolved themselves. And I was just absolutely stunned and made my belief in angels even more solidified. Helen, just reading through your story again, I'm just thinking, what would I do if I were in Cosentino's, where I know everybody who works there? If there's someone new, I look at them and I say, are you new here? And they say, yeah, I just started. So, these places that we visit regularly, frequently, we know the place, we know the people who work there. And if someone new shows up out of the blue and just affirms your belief in angels and gives you a token, tells you things are going to be okay, things are going to turn out, I can't even imagine how that must have felt. Oh, what a great story. In case you hadn't heard, Real Life Angel Encounters will be a book. Yes, coming out this summer. Real Life Angel Encounters, real people share real stories of miraculous events out this summer. The end of June in the UK and July 1st in the US. And I could not be more excited. Now, this book is intended to be a series with subsequent stories from this podcast. So, I need your stories. Please send them to me at angelencounterspodcast@gmail.com or join the Facebook group Real Life Angel Encounters on Facebook in the group. Join the group and share your stories. You can also go to my website, which is radiatewellnesscommunity.com/podcast, and that will take you to the Real Life Angel Encounters page. Just click through and you will see a link to a form. You can submit your story via form as well. Lots of ways to send those stories in. So please, please, please tell your friends, your family, your family, tell your dog groomer and your hairstylist and your nail person. Tell everybody you know about this podcast so we get more and more stories for you to enjoy and to give you hope through these difficult times. Thank you for listening. And now we have a story from Lori C., who I think lives in the Kansas City area, the greater Kansas City metropolitan area. Lori submitted her story on the website, radiatewellnesscommunity.com/podcast, and this is her story. I will forever remember that day, the day that my sister and I sat in silence on the car ride home. We knew exactly what each other was thinking as tears filled our eyes. Tears of not understanding what had just happened, and tears of knowing exactly what had just happened. We had an angel encounter. There is no other explanation. I'm going to try to tell this story in a few words, but I'm sure my words do not give this story justice. We, my sister, brother in law, and myself, were just packing up to head back home from a weekend of camping at Smithville Lake. We unassembled the pop up camper, carefully putting all the pieces into place to ensure a safe commute home. We attached the camper to the truck hitch and began our journey back to our daily routines. We left the campgrounds and began heading north on a very curvy, hilly lake road. We were enjoying some light conversation and recapping over our fun weekend that was filled with relaxation and lots of laughs. As we were chatting, a cardinal flew directly in front of our truck. My sister and I looked at each other and said simultaneously, "Mom was camping with us." Mom had recently passed, and all of us sisters knew that Mom was around every time that we saw a cardinal. All of a sudden, I heard some strange noises coming from behind us. So I looked back at the camper to find that it had freed itself from the truck hitch. It was swaying back and forth into the grass and back into the oncoming traffic of the two-lane lake road. I alerted my brother-in-law, who was driving the truck, that the camper was unhooked and that he needed to stop. In a panic, he slammed on the brakes of the truck. Unfortunately, we were going down a steep hill. All I could do is watch the camper slam into the back of the truck and quietly log itself under the truck. Oh my gosh. We sat in silence for a minute and gathered our composure, making sure that we were all okay. We safely stepped outside of the vehicle, just staring at the debacle. We were contemplating next steps, call a tow truck, when out of the blue, a small car that was heading south drove past us and slowly turned around and pulled behind us. A man stepped out of the car and approached us, asking if we needed help. We told him our story and that we needed to call a tow truck. This man introduced himself and said that he lives up south with his wife by the Horsies. The Horsies, that's a hoot. My sister and I looked at each other. This was a word that my mom would use every time she saw horses. She would say, horsey, horsey, horsey. I think that it came from one of her favorite movies. This, this is the part I cannot explain. I wish that I would have really understood what was happening at the time, but it all happened so fast. I'm not even sure what I saw or can explain what I saw. This man of slightly better than average build walked up to the truck. With his bare hands, he lifted the Ford F-150 truck and pushed the camper aside. He then maneuvered the camper close to the truck and again lifted the truck and placed the hitch onto the camper. Now, I don't know a lot about human strength and the ability to lift a truck and a camper, but I can tell you that we have always used tools and jacks to assist us. The man's hands were bleeding. I remember that he just wiped the blood onto the grass. We offered towels, water, money, He accepted nothing. We exchanged a few more words. My sister, brother-in-law, and myself were still in awe and began to say our goodbyes. I'm going to cry, you guys. Oh my gosh. The man was walking toward his car. He turned around, looked us in our eyes, and said, I love you guys. Take care. Oh my gosh. The man who was now directly behind us was facing north. He began driving away, north, not south. We started the truck and tried to catch up to him. He was nowhere in sight. We know that there is no other explanation other than an angel encounter. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you for sending in your story, Lori. That was wonderful. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and follow, and be sure to share this episode. The more people who know about this podcast, the more great story submissions we get. Have a story to share? Email your own real-life angel encounter to angelencounterspodcast@gmail.com or visit radiatewellnesscommunity.com/real-life angel encounters podcast. Or join our Facebook group and continue the discussion. Want to know what your angels and loved ones have to tell you? Schedule an appointment with me at radiatewellnesscommunity.com. A special thanks to James Wheeler for the original music and to Tiffany Baumgarten for the logo design.